What are you thinking right now? I'm not asking anybody to answer, but what are you thinking right in this moment? You hear the word that we use. It's a nice sounding word. It's a fancy sounding word in some ways, but that word is consciousness. We are talking this month, and our theme is building consciousness. And consciousness is just really a fancy term for paying attention. What are we paying attention to? What are you paying attention to? What am I paying attention to? What is occupying our minds? Where are we? Where are our thoughts? Where are they leading us? Where are they coming from? What is happening with them? That when we learn to be aware and to pay attention to what we are paying attention to, we are talking about being in our consciousness. And I remember having a conversation with someone a while back. We were talking about different areas of Memphis. And we were talking about the issue that often when you talk about different areas of Memphis, crime. And what place is safe and what place isn't safe. And all of those things. And the thing that I shared is that while we have this idea that there is crime and Memphis is crime ridden, and I'm not ignoring statistics or things like that, but the fact of the matter is that most of us are able to transact each and every day without encountering crime. And it's not like we go to a certain area and we jump out of our car, and as soon as we do, crime says. But there are people around that will have you think that. There are people around that will have you carry that idea, and everywhere that you go, every place that you are, people become suspect, neighborhoods become suspect, all of those things, and then it gets ingrained in people, and it becomes a part of our awareness and a part of our consciousness. And in our teaching, we talk about race consciousness, meaning when we say race, we're talking about the human race, how people can carry those ideas and continue to reinforce those ideas. And one of the things that you can do very easily, you can start a conversation about how bad things are, and you will have a chorus of people agreeing with you. You'll have your own amen corner in just a few minutes. Because we have been somehow tricked into thinking that the worst things are the important things. We can look at the media and it tells us automatically, if it bleeds, it leads. So those things that are happening out there that are bad, those things that are happening out there that are about the murders and the corruption and all of those things get front page news, they're at the top of things, all of that, it's breaking news, all of that. And we can wallow in that, and we can stay stuck in that, and we can continue to move in that, or we can do something to build our consciousness. And the thing that's important is we are automatically, already right now, generating thoughts and ideas and feelings. All of us have those things happening right now. It never stops. It never stops. It is always happening. You and I are doing it even in this moment, wherever you are, whatever you're thinking, whatever is happening right now in your minds, that's a part of your consciousness. And it never stops. It never stops. I remember years ago when my daughter was little, and we were listening to music, and that Lenny Williams song, "'Cause I Love You," came on. And if you're familiar with that song, at the end when Lenny starts talking about, how he's really heartbroken, he tells his friend, I don't know about you, maybe you've never been in love before like I've been in love, and he goes on and he talks about how he calls her on the phone and the phone, wouldn't answer, drives by the house and all of that. And then he says this, and then I went home and I watched television till television went off. And my daughter said, "Daddy, what does he mean about till television went off?" And I had to explain to her that there was a time where television went off. That what he said, it was literal. Television went off. There was a time where at the end of the broadcast day, some of y'all are looking at me like, what? Really? But they would tell you we're at the end of the broadcast day, and then there would be that signal that would let you know that it's over. You have to wait till the next day. Well, our thoughts never cut off. They never stop. And that could be a troublesome thing, or that could be a beneficial thing. But we have to pay attention to what we're paying attention to. Because as we take the responsibility to make our thoughts beneficial thoughts, it's very easy to get caught up in the idea of everything's bad, people are against me, things are happening, oh my goodness, what's the government doing, oh, all of those things. And I'm not taking away from the importance of being aware, not taking away from the importance of that, but when we allow that to shape and focus who we are, we run into trouble. I was just having a conversation the other day about how it has been difficult in some ways for people who are aware, people who are conscious, people who are doing things that they need to do, how to stay encouraged and how to continue to be encouraged when so much of what is around continues to try and make us one thing or make us another way. And we don't have any help from those things like social media. I know some people say, I don't pay attention to it, but we're influenced by it, and they have those algorithms that will, whatever you pay, and it's good because it works in just exactly what I'm talking about. If you find yourself focusing on certain stories or certain things, you get more of that. So, more of it comes to you, and you get a constant feeding of these kinds of issues. Constant feeding of these kinds of stories, and those things show up. And so here this morning, what I really want to tell us is if we decide in this moment, today and right now is when I take responsibility for my own consciousness and my own awareness. And I know that as I choose the thoughts that I wish to have, as I choose the things that I will allow into my mind, as I choose the things that will become a part of what I'm paying attention to, that will make the difference for me. That makes the difference for me. It makes the difference for you. And when we make that decision, and I'd like for us all, if we haven't already made it, to make it today, to make it in this moment, to understand right here, right now, as the song says, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Better than blessed, all of those things that we like to say, that we were going to recognize who we are. And then, if it's not where we want to be, we hear the good news, is that we can change your thinking, change your life, change your awareness, change your consciousness. Make the decision to pay attention to what you're paying attention to, because where we place our attention and then where we set our intention, our attention, what we are thinking, where we are, what we are doing, as we do that, and then we set our intention that this is going to be the best day yet for me. This is going to be the best day yet for me. The best day that we deliberately, because I was thinking about this morning, and that was to ask the question, how do you start your day? How do you start your day? Because that's the beginning. A lot of us start our day just willy-nilly. We wake up, we get a nudge from somebody, the dog, the cat jumps up on the bed, the neighbor is loud, or the alarm clock goes off, or something, and we just Whatever presents ourselves, we start our day. We start our day. And the thing of it is that we can start from the very beginning to take control of our day. A lot of people were fascinated by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's now getting a lot of attention and everything for a lot of the books that he's put out and everything. But in the beginning, when he started talking about the whole idea of creating the day, when he said, I create my day, and people said, wow, that's really fascinating and everything. And a lot of people were saying, but every day, all of us can do that, not just him. We can get up and we can start. I remember looking at the movie Wishes Fulfilled with Wayne Dyer in it, and a part of that was every time Wayne Dyer got ready to get up, before his feet hit the floor, or as they hit the floor, and he was putting them in his shoes, he would just say, thank you. Not for anything in particular, but thank you. If we could start the day in gratitude, thank you. Start the day in focus. Start the day, and it doesn't take a whole lot. Don't have to meditate. I mean, it's great to meditate, and I'm taking away from that, but start out with the simple things, just a word of gratitude. A breath of century, being thankful for the breath. Because if there's anything that we can be thankful for, is our breathing, our ability to breathe. Because when we stop that, we stop. We stop. So just thankful for breath, but starting the day intentionally, and then seeing ourselves having a successful day where we navigate the relationships and the responsibilities and the tasks successfully. Being open to surprises. I like the song that Al Jarreau sings, wait for the magic. That we expect magic in the day. I know that sounds, kind of pie in the sky, woo-woo, and that kind of stuff like that. But I happen to believe that if we operate from that understanding, operate from that expectation, operate from that orientation, that things happen in that way. Things don't just happen, things happen just as we begin to order them, just as we begin to expect them, just as we begin to shape them, just as we begin to allow ourselves. Try it and see. Try it and see. One of the best things that I like about our teaching is that it's not something that's so dogmatic. We say you must believe this, and you must think this, you must operate and understand in this way. The thing of it is, try it, give it a try, see how it works. Let it work, let it unfold, let it flow. Because if you think it will work, it will. If you think it won't work, that'll part of work too, it won't work. But try it and see. Take responsibility for the way in which we approach things, the way in which we see things. Wait for the magic. The thing about our community is that we are built upon the idea that it's okay to do things like dream and imagine. You all hear me oftentimes talk about how the author Robert Fulghum, who wrote the book Everything I Ever Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten, was in a room full of adults, and he asked them, how many in here can draw? A few hands went up. How many can paint? A few hands went up. How many can dance? A few hands went up. And then he says, do you know that if you walk into any kindergarten classroom in this country and ask the same question, every time, every hand will go up. How many of you can paint? Every hand. How many of you can draw? Every hand. How many of you can dance? Every hand. And then he asked the question, who taught you to stop believing in yourself? Who taught you to stop believing? You may not be able to dance like some people or draw like some people, but that's okay. It's how you choose to express yourself. Even if nobody else ever sees that drawing or that painting, it doesn't matter. It's your expression. It's you allowing spirit to flow through you in such a way. Everybody may not be able to, or statistics say, or the experts say, or conventions say. But there are people out there right now, some of you in this room, that are proving that that doesn't matter. No limits being able to do that. We live in a world where more and more and more we are seeing that ability. We are seeing people, we are seeing young people starting out. I mean, a lot of us with the technology and all of that stuff have to figure this out and understand that and know that. And a lot of us find one of them to show us how to do it. Because things are expanding exponentially and we are having a greater awareness. And in the midst of all of this, we come saying to folks, some that are here, some that are not here, it don't matter. Dare to dream. Dare to imagine. Dare to create. Dare to be magnificent. Dare to be wonderful. Dare to be creative. Dare to be inspiring. Dare to be resourceful. Dare to be heroic. Dare to be courageous. Dare to be an innovator. Dare to be the person that sets your own pace. Dare to march to the beat of your own drummer. Dare to know who you are. Dare to share that with the world. Dare, be, imagine, dream, expand, grow. You're awesome. And it all starts with being aware of what you're thinking right now. And if that's not serving you, change the channel. Think those thoughts that maybe you once thought that somebody said, that don't work. Dream and dare to be. So it is.
and one presence in the universe, and that is God. And as each of us takes in all that we have learned today, we take it in, we make it our own, and we simply live from those very truths. We give thanks for all that have participated today. We give thanks for the lesson, the music, the centering moment, the affirmative reading, and just all of the beautiful energy that each and every person has brought into this space and into this place today. And moving forward, knowing that, yes, I am going to pay attention to what I'm paying attention to. So if it's those things that kind of drag me down, I have the ability to change the channel almost